information will help your profession and find some tips and inspiration. Thank you. Let me start. And I would like to start with a video so you know my experience.
Let me tell you guys something about Dr. Angela Wilson. She is the best speaker in today's event. I enjoyed her immensely. Everyone should listen to what she has to say because she is the next greatest and biggest thing out there.
Listen to Dr. Angela Wilson's talk on stage. What a fantastic delivery she has, and what a fantastic message she has as well. She also looks radiant. She commands that stage. Not even delivering the message that she's really confident about as well, but it's a really profound message as well, because I understand she's the first person to interact the conscious mind with the unconscious mind and merge that. Yeah. And what we can, the first person to do that, opening the doors of exploration, find that, and the results we can have as a result of understanding it is going to be fantastic. So I would really, encourage you to listen to what Dr. Angela has got to say and embrace that wonderful wisdom that we look forward to hearing more in the future. Thank you very much.
Let me introduce Angela Wilson from Australia. Wow. Yesterday I was really struck by her presentation on unconscious mind. She really rocked of 4,000 people. Can't believe, she just mentioned things around energy management, sexual energy management, and control it and take it to a different level. Being an entrepreneur, I know some of those facts. And I think now we have a lady who is a coach who has really, become an authority in that unconscious mind aspect. I think it's time to get in touch with Angela.
But from complete body. What she talks about is how to enhance your energy, your desire, your passion, and how to compound the effects of that, multiplying it 10 times, 100 times. What her philosophy and practical application does for you as a human being will open you up to broader things that you never thought possible and give you a very solid grounding foundation that is unshakable.
Angela, what you have to offer is so powerful and so unique. You truly have your hands on what humanity is looking for, but afraid, most of us, to find. And the power behind what you understand and your gift is something that I have no doubt people will always more and more be finding your gifts. Angie, I was so thrilled with what you had to tell us today. Believe me, 2,500 people were there. They didn't see anyone who could compare with what you had to offer. It was thrilling, it was real, it was powerful, and I know, and so did they, that you're speaking higher truth. Absolutely.
So when I saw you, Angela, it was so wonderful. Since the time I noticed you at this conference, I could just see how illuminated you were, and you were so kind and smiling at everybody. And I was like, I wonder why she's like that. And when I saw you speak on stage and you were talking about the spirit and everything else and enlightenment, I thought, okay, now I get it. That's how I try to live my life. But you have an illumination that's just beyond anybody that I have met. And I just wanted to tell you that because it's beautiful, beautiful spirit.
Okay, I apologize if you cannot hear the video. What I will share with you is these videos are the testimonial talking about the power of the unconscious mind when we are able to take control. So I shared my story on stage. Okay, so but don't worry, you are going to hear my story here. So let's say worldwide, mental health issue is a big thing, especially, thank you, especially because of COVID-19. And I just found some information from the Google. It says entrepreneurs are at great risk of mental disorder based on science confirmation. Of course, there are so many proofs that, like Olympic, champions, billionaires, suicide, and also Kate Spiner. I think most of you maybe already know her. She was a billionaire fashion designer, and she at the end, she hung up herself after so many years of suffering because of mental health issue. But I share with you what is said here looks like true, but the mental health issue actually is a lie of our mind. So ambitious people do not need to suffer. That's my point, okay? Any aspiring individuals can use own mental strength to prevent, heal, but not boost mental health issues. The more you are ambitious, the faster you can escape the catch, okay? So, of course, we can see all different solutions to try to find, freedom from the mind prison and free from this mental suffering, but almost like it is not possible. So Einstein said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So what's the difference? First, we need to find out what exactly about human being. Einstein said, concerning matter, we have been all wrong. What have called matter is energy, whose vibration has been so low as to be perceptible to the senses. There is no matter. What that means? That means human body are energy. But the point is, energy masters, gurus are suffering too. So what's the problem behind? So what is right and what is wrong? So I would like to share my story, and I hope my story is your inspiration. I would like to share how I actually join all the dots together. Human body and the brain and the mind, and how these all different parts of the human body system actually connect with our whole life journey. Okay, I prepare you, do not worry, and please do not cry for me, okay, when you hear my story. So I was born unwanted. I was born taken as an extra person in the family. I was kind of living in the hell. I was living in the fear of death since birth. And I was physically, emotionally, mentally abused every day. The point is, I have two parts of the life in childhood. One hand, I was abused, discriminated, and enslaved and misused. However, I was living in the city hospital with my doctor parents. You can see the compound. That's where I grew up. So there is no war between where patients are, where we are. And the good thing is my parents took me to their daily routine. Why? Because I was alone. Nobody took care of me. So at that moment, that was the time when, cultural revolution in China. I was born in China. Australia is a country of my choice. And my parents live in the big fear every day because they worry someone will set them up, put them on stage and be beaten. And so every day when, because I was with my parents, I see all the powerful people, the, people, who are poor, all suffering. And when I was at age 6, my father one day told all kids about our destiny. And I remember at that moment when one of my siblings was told she will have miserable life. I look at her face, her vulnerable face, and her face looks like, okay, I will be slaughtered. So what I can do? I really hated. I was only 6. So I look at my dad and ask how I can change, I can dominate my destiny. My father said, no, they can change destiny. That actually shocked me. I was really worried. If I cannot change destiny, does that mean I will suffer the rest of my life being enslaved, being discriminated, being misused, and being tortured? I didn't want that. And that was the warning sign. So that's the time I start to seriously practice. You know, my birthday was apology day. I never had a candy, never have any birthday gift. But my birthday every year, I have to really be apologizing to my mom for not really killed me. So I was basically have all the scars on my whole body, but on the other hand, when I was with my doctor parents, you know what happens? You can see here how it looks like you when work as a doctor in old time, around you. So basically like a chaos, it's a mess, and I was the one standing by to help my parents to when they are doing their work, especially when they're at home. Yeah, and you can see the table, the doctor was sitting there, and I normally sit opposite on the other side of the table when my mother worked. So one hand I was abused, the other hand I was an assistant. But what's the trigger for me to really dominate my life without any childhood trauma or any mental health issue? I share with you, amazing thing happened. I was forced to live in the environment that actually I have had to sleep with all the rice bags around me. So in old time, family normally buy a lot of rice, yeah? And my parents put the rice pot under my bed so the rats will not come to steal it, yeah? So, but the problem is the bugs come to me. The bugs crawling around me on my skin and also flying around, and so at midnight when I try to sleep, what happens? I feel vomiting, smelling. Yeah, and even the quilt is clean, and I'm even worried the bugs get into my ears. So can you imagine a little child, a toddler, was living in a situation like that? So I was forced to save myself, to make sure nothing going wrong. So I was forced to practice in a way that my consciousness was there and I shouldn't touch with emotion. Why? Because emotion doesn't help to solve problem. Although as a toddler, I couldn't have I didn't have the same mindset like adults, but I understood that point. So what I did, actually, I detached from my emotion and I started working on my whole body. So, and also I recognized at the local level, all these celebrity, the powerful people all suffer because they take my parents as their celebrity doctors. So I was following my doctor parents to visit their home. I saw they suffer physically, emotionally, mentally. I recognized, oh my God, why human beings suffer like that? It doesn't make sense. Something have to, wrong behind. So I basically urge myself have to find a solution, and I basically pushed myself every day very hard on my body to working on my body. So what happens, when I was 18, and my doctor parents actually, triggered one of my sisters to actually emotionally, being triggered. And then what happens? She actually walked behind me when we're at the dining table and cut me on my face. Yeah. And I knew I was not protected. However, I didn't hate anyone. I was observing why parents behavior like that, why sister behavior that. And I didn't put any emotion on that. Why? because I practiced since childhood how to tap into the most mysterious part of the mind. Because I want to escape from home, but I wanted to get confident. So what I did is I actually tried to find a power, but there's no way. Fortunately, I was lucky, and when one day I was at a dancing hall, and a group of handsome young men stopped me. They told me they want to invite me to the dancing competition, join to compete or tango waltz. I never even knew what is the tango. How possible I could take the chance, because my parents told me, you are nobody, you are zero. Your cry, your tears was not even as valuable as the pee of the rats. So I want to find out why and how I can make it happen. So you know what happens? In just 1 month's practice, I was able to earn 2 awards for the city, represent the city, and standing in front of the big audience at the sports arena and shine on the stage. So I knew that moment how powerful we are, our mind can be. And then what happens exactly behind the scene is because actually at the time when I knew I have to make things happen, I have to test how powerful my mind is, I was working on the whole body, my consciousness, my subconsciousness, and my whole physical body, different organs, to tap into another level of mind power. Yeah, and here, what I recognize after I escape from hometown, what happens? I recognize the powerful or the rich in other city also suffer. So that actually urged me to find out why I survived, why they are suffering in different city. They're not from hometown, but why they suffer, and I want to find out from theoretical level, scientific level. That's the time I start to go through all these qualifications, and check a different modality. Basically, I have all the qualification in the psychology. I deal with a lot of clinical issues, and I am even registered social worker. I'm a registered dietitian, nutrition. I even registered chef. So basically, all the qualification you are looking for, I already have that. So point is, when I came to the 30 over early 30, something else also happened. And that's leading me to find out another level of my mind power and where this come from. Yeah. So when I reach my dreamed success in early 30s, what happens? My parents actually want my immediate death. So you can see, based on hierarchy human needs, yeah, and human beings love to be accepted by the family, and we love to be successful, driven by the needs, being accepted, acknowledgement. And Anthony Robbins also said, human beings' behavior is driven by what? By invisible forces. So what is the invisible forces that he mentioned? Is the emotion. However, if based on the emotion, I would not be able to survive. You can imagine, I was born, feel like a homeless, although I have a decent family, and then when I was in the early 30s, I recognize, okay, what's the point to be so successful? And then you find out actually that triggers your parents' emotion, want your immediate death, because only when I die, they can get all my assets. So, but point is, I was not facing the mental crash. Instead, I actually boosted it to another level. And why is that happen? Because I tap into that unconscious mind. So, and then when I was, in a situation, what happens? I actually was with my beloved one. Yeah, go to Fiji, had a trip there, and he was mentally trapped. He told me he took me to the sea, have a jet skiing trip. And he knew I couldn't swim. I couldn't even paddle in the swimming pool. And I have no idea what might happen, but I knew two possibilities. One is he was serious, once threw me away, then I can disappear in the sea. Or the other one is maybe he just emotionally trapped, but he wants to have fun. But because I love him, so I think, okay, I want to test him. I want to test how powerful my mind can be. I want to test how powerful the unconscious mind I am in control. Yeah. So what I told him, yes, I will go with you. But meanwhile, I prepared, okay, in case I'm going to die, and what will I do? So what I did is, when I at the time and sit behind him, I started putting my mind in the Zoom. Consciously, I have awareness what can happen, and I start observing what was going on around me. And then emotionally, I have to detach. I cannot have any emotion. You can imagine if you have any emotion, what happens is your muscles start you losing. You can easily be thrown into the water. So what happens is, he was heading far away. He basically escaped from people. And we were told we cannot drive far away, have to be safe in the safe place. But I knew he might drive far away, and it happens. So I look around, nobody around me was it's silent. You can only hear the sound from the wave. And I can feel my body. My body was, my knees was touching the surface of the water, the sea. And I can see he was driving very fast. He was turning around, twisting in a sudden. And also he found out if when he couldn't throw me to the water, what he did, he started standing up. Yeah, and I knew what kind of mind, what thoughts in him, but I had no chance to even put emotion on it. Why? Because if I do it, I can easily be through into the water. So I just focus on my unconscious mind and let him go through, and focus on my body strength. My whole body was not even connected with his body. I just put my arms, around his waist. When he was so exhausted and tired, what happens? He just heading back to the beach, and he looked at me with his face in pale. He asked, "How could possible you survive?" Then that's the moment I knew he really mean it. However, I didn't tell him. I tapped to his shoulder. I said, "Baby, because I love you." Why I share with you this story? This is all because I was able to tap into the unconscious mind since childhood. So, and also, I want to find out why I have the mental strength to survive from mental health issue. Why? Most others, ambitious entrepreneurs, cannot. Why ambitious entrepreneurs? The part that make them amazing successful, and also the part make stumble. Yeah, I invest over 1 million in the past decades. So what is the point? Okay, and I recognize, yeah, when I recall my childhood, is all come from the unconscious mind. Sigmund Freud is said the unconscious mind is largely inaccessible. Yeah, so point is, if we all try to find solution for mental health, but this part of mind is not accessible, while we can see from the iceberg, this part is a big part of the mind. And also, this part of mind is the one control our consciousness, our subconsciousness, and control our whole body. So if we are not able to solve this problem, of course, we are chasing the tail. So what I did, yeah, when I recall back what I have did differently, what I have did differently in the childhood is, when I was, learning the diet, I'm a certified dietitian, nutrition. And, oh, by the way, I'm also from 22nd generation of energy healing. I learned billionaire mindset, success mindset. But what I did different is from childhood, I share with you. I actually working on my whole body and make my whole body, all different level of energy actually working in one path. That's the reason. That's the reason. So it's all aligned all together. So doesn't matter, working on, taking diet or whatever, what kind of nutrition. Put like this, my whole family have also genetic issues like, chronic, diabetes, heart disease, or even kidney, liver. I was the only one and the only one escaped. And the secret is because this. And then, so why the gurus? You may ask, okay, energy, okay, and the gurus, healers, spiritual leaders, all understand, but why? They are suffer. Yeah, you may heard some spiritual leaders, gurus, they don't suffer, but if they take them back to the conventional world, they start suffer. Why it's like that? Yeah, and in order to I give you a background for this kind of research. I'm the insider. I was also in the process to be a nun forever. I was a nun couple months. Yeah, you can say that nun dress. But by the way, I checked the different religion. Yeah, and what happens is, the reason I gave up to be a nun is because I recognize, and it doesn't matter from different religion, although they are practicing energy or all kinds of things, they all suffer. And I recognize I cannot serve the world the way I want, because I can only teach the Bible or sutra, so I give up. Yeah, and the reason behind is not able to put all the energy into one form. So we have to working on hacking it. Without hacking it, it will not work. So however, I would like to share one case here. You can go to YouTube, you will find a video, interview about this lady. She is from Australia. She has 2,500 personality. 2,500 personality. How this possible happened inside the body? Different personality is what? Different shape of form of energy. They are all energy. As long as we are able to align different energy in one part, we can easily free from all different blockage, all this suffering. And that's exactly what I did since childhood. It's not wait until we have time on holiday, we will do meditation, or we spend 2 hours do meditation every day. Is at the time when the thoughts coming, we have to immediately working with the thoughts and also identify behind the thoughts. Thoughts is from consciousness, and the emotion. But what's behind is the unconscious mind actually is working out our consciousness and emotion 24/7. So we have to have the ability to identify that. Yeah. So I would like to share with you the two cases I deal with some clients. I give example like clients with depression. And when he came to me, he was already suffered depression for many years. Yeah. And what I did with him is from consciousness, the conversation, and from how I observe him, I already know the energy inside his body. He came to me, he wanted to find his past life. Yeah. I'm also clinic hypnotherapist. Yeah. I also, took people to the past life, or even take them to the future. So when I saw him, I told him, no. Based on what I see now, it's better you don't go there. But I will help you with another level of energy to open the energy block inside your body. Yeah. And then for the anxiety is also energy. Anxiety is also energy. Schizophrenia is also different energy. Also, autism is also different energy. I have a whole family came to me because of the schizophrenia. The parents love a kind of meditation. They join a global famous meditation movement. They love it so much, and they introduce to their son. When they introduce their son, not soon after, the son start tap into the mind that's diagnosed to be the schizophrenia. Yeah. So when they found me, that's already 10 years later. So when I look at the whole family, yeah, have consciousness, discussion, that I identify actually this kind of energy actually come from the father. So what I did actually is talking to the father in front of the group and then put group together. You know what happens? The son have no problem, and the whole family come back to the normal life. And because the energy behind, and all this energy actually all come from the unconscious mind. And the autism children, the energy of the autism children all comes from what happens actually from the energy of the parents. So when working on the autism people, I normally autism children, I work with their parents. Anxiety is energy. Put like this: all different the mental suffering, yeah, is energy, a different shape of energy. Like we, for example, if like we learn surfing, what we do, we want to understand how the waves go through, and we want to prepare and learn how to play with the waves. So if we understand how to play with different energy inside the body, like from my childhood, every day I can observe how the energy coming and how the energy go. I observe how my mom, how my father, how their energy go through when they actually start abuse or they stop abuse or when they are seriously at work. So I was observing what's going on inside them. So let's talk about the COVID-19. COVID-19 is an energy. What kind of energy? Is a connective energy. Is a connective energy. So when we are working on our mental health issue, because of COVID-19, it's important to request to, hold on. Hold on. I don't know what is happening now. Hold on. Sorry, I don't know what is happening here. Hello? Any assistant? I cannot control here.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Okay. What is happening? I cannot control my computer.
Just
I
give
think,
me a minute.
yeah. What are you trying to achieve?
1 second. You are the presentator, so you can only. Now is it in your control?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Any other problem?
No.
There is a problem. There's always the beeping sound.
Sound?
With
It's
Harriet.
yeah. It's not from my end. From my end, it's very quiet. I hear that sound too. I don't know where this come from. Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, we guess is from the new chats or the new participants enter into our room.
I don't know. So should I continue?
Yes, please.
Okay, so in the COVID-19, for take care of yourself and in this COVID-19, the mental health, basically we work on our whole body, make our, oh, hold on, I lost it again. Okay, how to, yeah, I think it's from the, someone join, or I cannot control.
So could the host turn the beeping sound off?
Are you talking to me?
Talking to the host. Yeah, maybe she could turn it off.
Yes, please.
I cannot control my screen.
Okay.
I cannot do this.
Now it's working for you.
Oh yeah, now it works. Yeah, I think something happened from your end. Okay, so what we can do for the COVID-19 mental health issue, because COVID-19 basically is energy, is a connective global energy, and that is an active energy. So what we can do is basically is when we're working on our whole body and mind, we actually can also send in the energy to the environment, because COVID-19 is basically global, is at a collective level. Basically, we need to all team people up. That's why I have the the quote, let's spread love and make it more contagious over the coronavirus. That can help to reduce the negative energy that impact the unconscious mind. So you may wonder why I'm talking about this. Why, all this what I'm sharing here is about the unconscious mind is largely inaccessible, and why it's like that. Yeah, I normally talk this at the beginning, but then I recognize, oh, people think differently if I talk in the beginning. Now I share at the end. So what happens in the ecosystem globally? Human being is just a part of the product of the universe. We have no difference from other species. Yeah, if you already watched the movie Matrix in 1999, you maybe remember talking about the system matrix. Yeah, and if you love Napoleon here, especially if you are ambitious and love making more money, and you already know Napoleon here, you may already read this book, Outwitting the Devil. Inside this book, already talk about how human being is controlled. Yeah. However, I would like to share with you that connect with unconscious mind. Remember, I said I invested over $1 million US to research everything possible I need to find out. Yeah. So let me show you. Basically, there are two paths. You see, this is Morpheus from the Matrix, and he basically teach people how to fight the system. But point is, fighting system is a trap from the mind. And what is written in the book is very important. There's many important information. I picked up some. 98% out of 100 actually lose the control of the unconscious mind. Why? Because most of them are trapped into their hypnotic rhythm. Yeah. So what we can do is we just find the energy loophole. Then we can fix all the issues. So let me show you some quotes, then you understand better. Yeah, how the universe works, why human beings suffering, and why mental health issue cannot be fixed until we can tap into the unconscious mind and take over the control. Number one, I don't cause all the misery on earth. On the other hand, I boost it. And this I is so-called devil, actually is a metaphor. Okay, is a trap in the unconscious mind. Yeah. Number two, I merely move in and copy the that's a typing writing, unused space of the human brain. What is the unused space? Of course, we have an emotion. We control our emotion. The unused space is the unconscious mind. And the number three, I add to my power by appropriating the mind of the earth's bonds until as they come through the gate at the time of the death. Number four, I'm constantly at work. That's also the reason why if we do a meditation at weekend or we have a holiday, like all these billionaires, they have a hell of money. but still doesn't work. Why? Because when our thought starts, actually they are the triggers. Triggers starts along with our thoughts through the unconscious mind. And here, that's why I already read here number 3, I cause people to allow me do their thinking. How? Is through hypnotic reason. Number 7, I plant the seeds, negative thoughts. But point is, so many success people, they are positive. They are positive, actually, a lot of positive, actually, for what? It's like a blindly positive. Why? Because they cannot see the issue in the unconscious mind. So you can see number 8. I took over their minds and body even before they die, when I can ruin them or freeze them into hypnotic reason. This is exactly the reason why most of us cannot tap into the unconscious mind. That's the reason. And those who control and use their mind escape. All these billionaires, all these success people, entrepreneurs, all like to dominate their mind. They already dominate their mind, but their mental strength actually boosts the mental health issue. Why? Because of what the mind, part of mind they use is not the unconscious mind. That's the reason. So point is, what's the consequence if we cannot dominate the unconscious mind? Put like this. If we cannot dominate the unconscious mind when we are at the coma, what happens? Our consciousness is gone. We cannot cope. But once we are working, we are able to take control of the unconscious mind without letting so-called devil, invisible forces take control. What happens? Even when we are sleeping, it's still working on us. I have clients call me at midnight because of panic attack. Why? They can control their mind at working times because their consciousness is there. But at midnight, they were sleeping and the consciousness is at rest. So what happens? They lose the control. And also, if we are not able to access the unconscious mind, dementia, and many people do not know where this dementia come from. But if you observe the people with dementia, you actually can see they have shows kinds of like a different personality. Where this come from? This all different energy. Yeah. And also special things is, if we're not able to take over the control the unconscious mind, not just suffer emotionally, mentally, but at the time when we are going to die, that's very scary because our consciousness is not there. So what happens? Our unconsciousness will take over. That's very scary because that's the time we don't know what happened. I already go through this process, since birth. So what people are worried and live in the fear now, I already prepared myself over 44 years ago. So take over the control of unconscious mind is key. But however, when we have the blockage, or we just put a different technique, different parts of the body separately, when we are dealing with the issue separately without putting all in one place as one energy form. Okay, I think I lost that again. What happened? I think something wrong again. I lost that. Can you help? Okay, thank you. So when when I click, then it's gone. I need to click my presentation. How to fix this? Hello, Eva? I lost.
Yes, you lost again.
I cannot control my presentation.
Okay. Just give me a minute.
I'm not able to. It go back to the cover of my presentation. Hello?
Yes, now you can control. I mean, are you able to do that?
I'm not able to.
Okay, just give me a moment.
Go back to the keynotes cover.
Miss Angela, just stop the screen share once and start again. Hope it will work for you.
You want me stop, then start again?
Yeah.
Okay,
Is it working for you?
now working. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
So, so tragic ending is predictable, and no any mental health issue can really be fixed until we are able to take over the control of the unconscious mind and make the whole body energy start to flow. And when something is started blocking, before that blocking, we already are able to sense it. Yeah, and you can see what is written in the book. I add to my power by appropriating the mind power of Earth Star. What that means, we have to take over that power of the unconscious mind. If we are not able to take over our territory and allowed other invisible forces to dominate our whole life journey and our whole body, different parts of body and consciousness, subconsciousness, it will not work. When we are able to do it, what happens? We don't need to rely on meditation. We don't need to wait something happen. Okay, so much stress is overwhelming. I need to go holiday to get rid of stress. No, our unconscious mind is working 24/7. But the point is, it's not belong to us if we are not in control. But if we are able to control, it's like a powerhouse. We can use that energy, actually convert to the power to kill, to crash the energy form of the mental suffering. I'm talking about the aspiring individuals. I'm not talking about mentally ill patients who hospitalized, okay? And with hospitalized patients, actually, I'm actually in the process to looking for a psychiatrist or neurologist who have interest to develop medicine, medicine to actually can build the energy path to the unconscious mind. Yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah, and here I mainly moved in. I use a part. This part is the unconscious mind. So in order to solve all the mental health issue for our ambitious people, it's so easy. It's so easy. I survived that since my childhood, and that's how I teach my clients. And with the ambitious people, what happens? Any source come to them, they can immediately use that source, convert to the energy, and actually hack the unconscious mind and take over the control. Yeah. So if you want to experience it, you can go to path2liberty.com, and otherwise you can follow me on social media. You see on social media, if you type Mind Power Lady, you should be able to find me. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I love you all. Let's spread love and make it more contagious than over the coronavirus. Thank you.